Ladies and gentlemen, today we will again witness the highlight of the Ministry's research work in developing resilient, high-yielding and adaptable varieties to possible pests and diseases to Fiji's agriculture sector. The latest Taro variety was released way back in 1999, which is known as the Wararasa variety. It was introduced mainly for commercial cultivation. Is now the most common variety recognized by most farmers. In addition, the latest Kumala variety was released in the 1980s, where the Honiara and the Tale varieties were introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, releasing the Taro leaf blight tolerant varieties to our farmers will ensure improving Taro resilience to this devastating disease that is present in Pacific Island countries such as Hawaii, the Federated States of Micronesia, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Guam, Northern Marianas, and Samoa. This initiative is a proactive approach by the Ministry to ensure that we safeguard our Taro industry. Taro is one of the most important crops in Fiji in terms of food and income security to our farmers, and has been one of the major export commodities over the years. Its total production gross value in 2017 is around $120 million, with an export earnings of around $22 million. Fiji is currently exporting Taro to lucrative markets such as New Zealand, Australia, Canada, United States, and Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, let me highlight the negative impact of this leaf blight disease, whereby in 1992, the Samoan Taro industry experienced a widespread devastation of Taro leaf blight disease, which affected their food security, farmers' livelihood, loss of Taro genetic resources, and a ban from Taro importing countries. Fiji is very vulnerable to such disease due to its location, climatic conditions, increasing trade, sea and air travel to other Pacific Island countries. There is a high possibility of occurrence of this disease in Fiji, and we need to prepare and have plans in place to support the Taro industry, especially to the rising number of farmers who are directly involved. Furthermore, all Taro varieties that we grow in Fiji are susceptible to this leaf blight disease because of its narrow gene pool. Ladies and gentlemen, the release of these varieties is the beginning of our plan to protect our Taro industry from leaf blight disease. It involves the introduction, evaluation, selection, and distribution of best tolerant varieties to our farmers. This will be strengthened by the current Taro breeding project undertaken by the Research Division, where more varieties will be developed and tested for leaf blight. I commend the efforts carried out by our development partners such as the Pacific Community, SPC, the Center of Pacific Crops and Trees, CPET, FAO, Treaty Benefit Sharing Project in the Pacific, OZAID, and etc. that had worked with the Ministry to support the regional Taro crop improvement programs on building resilience to Taro leaf blight. This initiative supported the distribution of leaf blight tolerant varieties in the Pacific, including Fiji, with lessons learned from Samoa on the adverse impact of Taro leaf blight as the main subject. To all our farmers present here today, I would like to encourage you to ensure multiplication of these two new varieties in your farms for food security and the future growth of our Taro industry. I assure you that the Ministry Research and Extension Services will continue to provide the necessary technical and advisory support to ensure the project implementation of this initiative. The name selected for the new Taro varieties is Taroba. I'm advised that it involves two, Loa and Vula, in the Tauke language, meaning to prevent. The visual characteristics of this Ndalo and the naming have been developed in such a way that farmers can easily identify them as Taro leaf blight tolerant varieties. Ladies and gentlemen, Kumala is always an underdeveloped commodity in Fiji, despite its economic potentials. It is often regarded as a rehabilitation crop after natural disasters due to a few reasons. Short-term crop, about 3 to 5 months, it is resilient to wind damage and tolerant to drought. It has a prolonged shelf life if curing is done. It can be converted into animal feed, and of course it's important for food security. It's an important food security crop. In 2017, Fiji's total Kumala production amounted to 8,411 metric tons, which were mainly for home consumption and sale at our local markets. The new Kumala variety, golden brown, that will be launched today has the following characteristics. Our orange flesh color, matures in about 100 to 115 days. It's drought tolerant, high resistant to Kumala scab disease, and high yielding. The introduction of this new variety will boost the production of Kumala in Fiji and establish a consistent supply of this commodity to the food processing sectors, hotels, and restaurants. Fiji must learn from experiences in countries such as Brazil, Peru, China, India, and Nigeria, to name a few, and Papua New Guinea in the Pacific, who have developed this commodity into an agro-based industry. The Ministry will continue to explore new avenues that will ensure the realization of such experience, especially for our Kumala industry. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I once again commend the good efforts of the Research and Extension Division of the Ministry, its development partners, and the farmers in ensuring the successful release of these new crop varieties. I have confidence that these new crop varieties released today will better develop the sector through sustainability in production and marketing, modernization of the agriculture sector, enhanced resilience in all aspects of agricultural development, food security, and improved livelihood for our people. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to officially release the new Taro leaf blight tolerant varieties, Taro Valoa and Taro Vula, and the new Kumala variety, golden brown, for commercial cultivation. We now will thank you, Daniel. God bless Fiji. Agriculture and CPET and SPC, and of course to the farmers.